is in Providence Park, where you're looking live right now as Dallas looks for its first playoff win over the Timbers in franchise history. Welcome to our pregame watch party here at Toyota Stadium in Frisco, Texas. I am Gina Miller, and we're so thrilled that you can join us for this very special edition of FC Dallas Live, presented by Toyota. Over the course of the next 30 minutes, we are going to keep you happy because we got a few giveaways. If you watch and win giveaways tonight, we're going to head back out live to Portland in just a few minutes to check in with the guys as they are preparing for this huge playoff matchup against the Portland Timbers. You will also hear from FC Dallas head coach and goalkeeper Jimmy Maurer, who at 32 years old is making his MLS postseason debut tonight. It's a great show this evening planned for you. Going to be a great game, which you can catch with coverage starting at 9 p.m. on ESPN between FC Dallas and the Portland Timbers. It has been 2 weeks since Dallas has played a match. That was on Decision Day, November the 8th. The team has had 12 days to train during that time, taken a couple days off just to recuperate a little bit. Kind of strange with so much training after playing almost every 3 days since MLS resumed play back in August. Dallas has been focused on a number of things, though. Scoring, maintaining that defensive form they've shown this season, and handling Portland's counterattack. That's been the point of emphasis these past 2 weeks. At the end of the night, though, the goal is so simple: beat the Timbers, something Dallas has failed to do in 3 previous playoff meetings. Tonight, though, FC Dallas believes that the 4th time is the charm.
We know we're going to be ready. We can't be innocent, and Lucci keeps stressing that. We got to be ready. If we think it's going to be a cruise in the park, no, it's not going to happen. So we got to embrace the struggle. We'll be ready.
They're big time on the counter. They got some big pieces that like to break out and get forward fast. So, again, we'll be ready for it. It's the sort of team where you have to, as you're attacking them, be very careful with your preventative defense and make sure you know that they're going to keep a couple guys cheating high. But we know what to expect with them. They've been that way, kind of had that same style for a while now, so we're used to it.
Back live here at Toyota Stadium in Frisco, Texas. Steve Davis joining me, color analyst for FC Dallas on both the radio and TV. No place I'd rather be on a Sunday night than with this man with plexiglass dividing between us here. This is how we do it now in 2020, isn't it? The virtual fist bump.
It's the safe way. It's the good way. Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take it. So good to see you. You and Mark Followell preparing for the call on the radio starting at 9 p.m. tonight. Usually when we do this on TV, Steve, you go over the starting 11. And if you look at tonight's starting 11 as FC Dallas is preparing to take on the Timbers in the playoffs for the 4th time, couple changes tonight, which I think are pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think what Lucci is looking for tonight, Gina, is just a little bit more defensive stability. You know, that last road match against Minnesota, he sort of went for it. He wanted the team to have that mentality, we're going to go for the win. So it was a little bit more of an attacking mindset. Tonight, what the lineup reflects is just a little bit more defensive stability with Ryan Hollingshead pushing forward in the formation up to the left wing spot. That puts Ryan Nelson, who we just saw there at the left fullback spot. Johnny Nelson, who did I just say? Ryan Nelson. Johnny Nelson has passed the test every single time defensively, so very solid defensively on the left side. Fafa Pico comes in on the right side, a little bit more defensive stability there over what Michael Barrios offers defensively, so it's a little bit more of a defensive setup tonight for Luchi Gonzalez.
Interesting with Barrios on the bench.
Yeah, you know what? Michael Barrios, he has had his best year, right? And if you're a winger who's scoring goals and chipping in a lot of assists and you're not so great on the defensive end, that's okay because you're still adding a lot. But if he hasn't had the best year offensively, then, cutting those corners defensively just maybe isn't the thing for a playoff game. So Fafa Pico, by the way, Fafa Pico, everybody might know a lot about him and still might not know that last year in a game for Philadelphia, in a big playoff win for Philadelphia, he was huge. They rallied from a 2-goal deficit. He scored one of the goals, set up the game winner, so he's big in playoff games. So I like that move from Luchi Gonzalez.
You talk about being big in playoff games. You know, there are fewer places in Major League Soccer that are more raucous than Providence Park in Portland. No fans tonight. No fans all season in Providence Park since play resumed following the post-pandemic era. But still, though, these big game moments, Steve, you can look at the team and you say, oh, it's a very young team. Average age of the starting 11 tonight, tonight, around 29 years old. And that average age has been bolstered by the likes of Franco Jara, Thiago Santos, two men who have that big game experience in Liga MX, in the case of Franco Jara playing for Pachuca, and in Santos's case, playing for Palmeiras in Brazil. Do you think that is going to come into play at all, that veteran experience in these scenarios?
Well, first of all, on the young guys, sometimes you look at that, and Jimmy Maurer talked about this week how the young guys, they're fearless. So you get that part. But yes, to your question, I think as the game goes on, things get a little tighter. I think having those guys with big game experience does help. And by the way, on the other side, Diego Valeri, Diego Chara, they've got that experience. So I think having guys like Thiago Santos and Franco Jara, and even Jimmy Maurer, he's played in some big games in the other league, in NASL. So, yeah, you need that balance. Young guys for all their spirit, older guys for their experience.
Well, we know that FC Dallas' strength this year has been defense. 15 goals allowed, the fewest allowed among the remaining teams who are still in the MLS postseason. How much of a factor is that tonight? Because we know in the postseason you can throw a lot of those statistical categories kind of out the window.
Yeah, not that one for me, though.
Yeah?
If you have a good defense, you're in games. Even if you're not scoring a lot of goals, if you're only allowing one or two, you're still in the game. And if all the games against Nashville that Dallas played this year, if it didn't teach us anything, it taught us that even an expansion team, when they have a really solid defense, you can get somewhere. They got into the playoffs, and they've already advanced in the playoffs by having that good, solid defense. Dallas has that defensive structure, just like Nashville does.
Are you saying defense wins? I don't want to say the C word there, but defense does win in the postseason. It's my favorite phrase.
Defense keeps you in the games for sure, and it gives you a chance to win, doesn't it?
I love it. I love it. Steve Davis, good luck tonight. Looking forward to the call at fcdallas.com/radio.
I hope our booth is warmer. You're tougher than me. Yeah, I'm colder than you, it looks
We
right
have
now.
the heaters. We can afford the heaters in your booth. This one, we had to sweater it up tonight. Steve Davis and Mark Followell and Tyler Kern on the call on fcdallas.com. I told you it's a watch and win opportunity. Time for our first giveaway tonight. This is a good one. Believe me here, it's a $500 gift card to Soccer 90, courtesy of our friends at Heineken. Winning is so simple. All you have to do is post a selfie of yourself to Twitter or Instagram, watching the match, pregame show right now, or listening to the game on the radio. Tag FC Dallas and use the hashtag #ComeBackStronger. We're selecting the winner at random tomorrow. Watch and win $500 to Soccer 90. We are just getting started here on FC Dallas Live. What a season it's been for goalkeeper Jimmy Maurer. How is he approaching his first ever MLS playoff start? You'll hear from him next. First, though, the 2020 regular season is done. It's time to get in the game for 2021. Memberships for next season are on sale right now. From free parking and members-only swag to exclusive access to your favorite FC Dallas players and a personalized seat tag, membership has its privileges, like an exclusive chat with fans and Luchi Gonzalez that happened last Tuesday night. STM's got that. Learn more about all the perks as an FC Dallas season ticket member by visiting our membership site, fcdmembership.com. Back right after this.
Come on. Let's go.
Come on, let's go in.
Toyotathon is on. 'Tis the season for great year-end deals.
During Toyotathon, qualified buyers get 0% APR financing for 60 months or $2,750 total bonus on a new 2021 Tundra Special Edition.
Don't miss out. Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Working from home can be stressful. There are meetings.
Can you see my screen?
Deadlines. Maybe tomorrow. Reports. That's why when I'm in need of a break, I grab an Advocare Oasis. It has adaptogens, berry extracts, and B vitamins that help me adapt to occasional stress. It's like being in my own little oasis.
Portland advances on the road.
I think at playoffs, it's just you just got to win, and I don't think there's any sort of like this team or that team. It's like we just want to win, and the way that this league is or this season has been set up with COVID and everything, it really is anybody's game. Anybody can win any game, and we really feel that. And so it's all about just putting 4 games in a row together, and whoever does that is going to win it all.
Mosquera's header alive. It's deflected in. Maybe Dallas has enough time.
Yeah, I mean, they knocked us out here, and we want to return the favor.
That was a tough one. The last time FC Dallas and the Portland Timbers met in the postseason, Halloween 2018. It was a cold, rainy Wednesday night. FC Dallas fell 2-1 in the opening round of the 2018 playoffs. That match, of course, took place right here at Toyota Stadium. Tonight's in Portland, where we will head to in just a moment. Dallas enters the match with a goalkeeper who's almost flown under the radar, but is among the best in all of Major League Soccer this season. Jimmy Maurer led the league in goals against average and save percentage, and finished third with 7 shutouts despite playing just 16 games during the regular season. Tonight will be his first Major League Soccer playoff match, but at 32 years old, he is absolutely more than ready.
It's just been a crazy year in a lot of ways. So you come into preseason thinking one thing, we get shut down after a couple games. In the isolation quarantine period, trying to work out at our houses. That was an experience.
Significant personnel-wise, Jimmy Maurer in goal for the dismissed Jesse Gonzalez.
It was big for me. I've really enjoyed every minute of it, but it's not something that's happened just from this year. It's a lot of years and a lot of work, and just always trying to be ready and trying to get better every day, no matter what my role's been in the team. I've been one of the older guys in the locker room ever since I got here, and I try and help in whatever ways I can, and sometimes that's just having certain words with whether it be a younger guy or an older guy, or just using experiences to try and make sure the team's on the right path.
Boys, be ready to stop!
When you're on the field and you're playing, and especially things are going well, you just have that much more influence on the team, and so definitely felt that this year and tried to take advantage of it to help the team and to push each guy and make sure the squad and our mentality is going in the right direction. I've played in playoff situations before, not in the MLS, but in other clubs, and I've played in finals before, and the biggest thing in my experience has been it's another game, and your adrenaline, your emotions are gonna show up on their own, but the preparation stays the same, and we just try and prepare and be as ready as possible the same way we do week in and week out. We take confidence in what's gotten us here and the things that are gonna allow us to have success in Portland. We know it's gonna be a really tough challenge. They're a good side, and we're playing them at home, but we're going to have to win games on the road to get the MLS Cup, and that's our end goal, so why not start it in Portland?
Jimmy Maurer and teammates are currently in Portland. Kickoff of that match against the Timbers is at 9:18 Central Time in Providence Park. And that is where our Eddie Cotton is standing by, who's doing his best version of The Masked Singer. I love the effort there, Eddie, on this cold and rainy night in Portland with the FC Dallas players warming up behind you.
Yeah, absolutely. It is cold. It is rainy. It's been coming in and out, the rain and the weather. I don't know if it's going to have much of an impact on a team like this in FC Dallas. That let me tell you, I've been on a few road trips with this team. The level of focus is just absolutely there for every guy on this team. Some guys that I think would be more energetic on this trip are just so zoned in. Obviously, you look at a guy like Matt Hedges, who has been, honestly, zoned in since the trip started. I don't think he said more than 3 words. He's just been zoned in, ready to go for this playoff game. This team is ready. And I think the most important thing I've learned is the message to this team. Luchi Gonzalez talked a lot about past failures, looking at past matchups against Portland, looking at last year's matchup against Seattle, and he's done everything he can to make sure this team remembers that and is focused on making sure that does not happen again. So this team is absolutely zoned in, and they're ready for this matchup against Portland.
I think that's really interesting. You said that Luchi Gonzalez almost pointed out the team's past failures. Dallas lost in the regular season finale to Minnesota. Could have ended the season with 4 straight wins. You love that momentum going into any postseason, no matter what the sport. When you look at that in hindsight, though, could that loss to Minnesota have almost been a good thing as sort of a way to refocus and maybe reconnect with what really works with the club, with the guys?
Absolutely. I mean, you look at this team, and it's a reminder to them that they weren't perfect. They didn't do the job. It seemed almost like they were coasting the last 3 games with those wins, and the energy was good. You need to be reminded of the failures, reminded just like last year and just like a few years prior. And they haven't scared away from that. They've focused in on that, and they're ready to make sure that doesn't happen again.
I love it. Eddie, did you see anything or notice anything as the guys were warming up tonight? I mean, we see them all right behind you, and you said they were locked in. And I love what you said about Matt Hedges. He's maybe said 3 words all trip. That's very on brand for Matt.
Very on brand. Incredibly on brand. Yeah. So little words.
Yeah. But set the stage for me. It's cold. It's rainy. What else do we see going on in Portland?
You see guys warming up, and it is cold and rainy. I mean, there's not much extra there.
Yeah.
When I say that there's an extreme level of focus, it's not like I'm going to get many quotables from these guys. They're just zoned in on the game. They're not talking to me much, and I like to mess around. I'm a fun guy. They're not giving me much because this game is so important to this team, and they're ready for it.
You know what? I absolutely like that. Truly is a must-win for FC Dallas. Thank you, Eddie. More from you in just a little bit. Time now for another watch and win opportunity. This is another one you're absolutely going to love. You love ChickFilA? We're giving it to you. Free ChickFilA for a year. Pretty simple. You know what to do. Post a selfie of yourself to Twitter or Instagram, watching the match, the pregame show, or listening to Mark, Steve, and Tyler on the radio. Tag FC Dallas and use the hashtag #ComebackStronger. We will be selecting the winner at random tomorrow. Again, it's free ChickFilA for a year. Simple. Take a selfie, post it, tag us, use the hashtag, and you could win. Still going strong here on FC Dallas Live, presented by Toyota. It's not only the first playoff match for goalkeeper Jimmy Maurer, also the first time in the show for 2 homegrowns who've made huge contributions in 2020. How did Brian Reynolds and Tanner Tessman prepare for their playoff debut? You'll hear from them when we come back. Plus, a familiar face returns, not so much on the pitch, but to our broadcast. Paxton Pomykal gives you the keys to the match. That is, get his perspective on what it will take for Dallas to beat Portland when FC Dallas Live returns.
So how is it?
Great.
Sometimes what you need is right around the corner. And you don't have to go far to find just what you're looking for.
Right now with the playoffs this year, obviously people can't have fans, so I think it's a bit of an advantage for us. Obviously it's a very tough place to go in when they have fans, but now I think it's going to be pretty equal.
It's going to be weird, right? Every time we go up there, their fans are some of the best in the league, and that stadium is one of the best atmospheres in the league, so to have it empty is going to be a lot different. I'm not really sure what to expect, but we've gotten used to that a little bit this season. You know, going to Atlanta was the same thing, so we'll be ready for it.
Stand by. 9 seconds. It will be a different scene seeing a playoff game without any fans at Providence Park. Certainly, again, one of the craziest, wildest, most fun places to play in Major League Soccer. You see Eddie Cotton standing by in a fanless Providence Park. Eddie, now we know that there are no fans there, but that doesn't mean it won't be kind of loud and kind of crazy. In fact, FC Dallas practiced with piped-in crowd noise from Providence Park this week. Can we anticipate crowd noise being piped in, chanting, all those things tonight?
Yeah, I don't have official sources, but when I arrived, I heard that piped-up noise. They're getting it ready, prepping it for them. They haven't pulled it out now that FC Dallas players arrived. I arrived a little early. Congratulations to me. But I think we can expect there will be some sort of piped-in noise. But Lucci was smart. He knew what was going to happen. He had information. And because of that, they prepared and practiced with that crowd noise. So I think they'll be ready for that. And the crowd noise will be nowhere near as loud as what Timbers Army could have brought to this environment.
How wet is it? I mean, are we going to be seeing a wet, slick field tonight? What is it weather-wise from a rain standpoint?
For now, it has quieted down. The projection is it's going to come in and out like we've seen. It was pouring when they arrived, and I'm still kind of wet, which is fun. Super fun. but I would expect it to come in and out. I think the pitch itself looks pretty nice at the moment. I think Portland, of any team in the entire league, would be the most prepared for a situation filled with rain and winds. So I think it won't be that bad, but it could certainly have some sort of impact on the style of play from FC Dallas.
All right, Eddie Cotton, great job up there. Go get dry. Go towel off. And we'll look forward to seeing you throughout the night running FC Dallas's social media feed. Well, they might not be experiencing that raucous atmosphere of Providence Park tonight, but it will still be a unique experience for FC Dallas homegrowns Tanner Tessman and Brian Reynolds. Eddie caught up with them about just what to expect in their first ever MLS playoff game.
This is the most exciting time of the season, playoffs, and Portland's a really good team, but I really feel like in this league any team can beat any team, so we're not really worried about who we're facing against, but if we go out there and just do what we do in the week, we should be fine.
I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'm grateful for the decision I made, me and my family, to stay here at FC Dallas, and with everything that's gone on, I think it's helped me a lot in my career, and to be in my first playoff, looking to go far. We have a tough opponent in Portland away, so we'll have to fight hard, but no, I'm excited.
Obviously, my confidence is pretty high right now. I'm playing pretty well and, getting significant minutes and, providing for the team. So, obviously my confidence is high, but, you got to have a balance where it's not cocky, but you know that you're doing well. You just need to keep doing what you're doing.
Oh, it's high. I'm a confident player. I like to be confident. I think I play best when I'm confident. I think that comes from the guys believing in me, the coaching staff believing in me, the fans believing in me. So thanks to them, I feel ready.
Me and Tanner both haven't played in a MLS playoff game, and we're both just super excited.
We're both ready. Brian's got a lot of energy. He's coming in ready. We want to take it far. Been in playoffs, haven't been in playoffs, experience, no experience, first year, fifth year, and we're ready. We're ready to come at it.
Brian Reynolds getting that starting opportunity tonight for FC Dallas. This is the 6th season out of the last 7 that Dallas has made the playoffs, but the team is looking for its first postseason win since 2016. Dallas has lost in the first round of the playoffs each of the last 2 seasons. So what does the team need to do to stop that trend? We turn to an expert, Paxton Pomykal, who's on the shelf right now, but he certainly had some time to drop some knowledge for all of us with our keys to the match, presented by Toyota.
Hey guys, Paxton Pomykal here, midfielder for FC Dallas. You may have forgotten me over the past few months, but I'm doing rehab, working really hard. For this specific playoff game, I will not be joining, as you guys know, but I will be taking a more analytic approach and giving you guys the keys to the match driven by Toyota. It's going to be really important for this playoff game. So first and foremost, in my opinion, we need to score more goals in Portland. I know it sounds a little bit cheesy, but hear me out. Team that scores more goals in the game will win and go to the next round, okay? 100% of the time, not like 99, 98, 100% of the time, team that scores more goes to the next round, okay? Number 2, might sound a little similar to the first one, but don't let Portland score more goals than us. Like I said, it's not the same as the first one, but pretty similar. Take it as you might. And number 3, play some good soccer. I'll be watching on TV. Unfortunately, can't travel to Portland, but I want to see the boys play and outplay Portland. We're on some turf. We're going up north. I know the guys can get it done. So those are my 3 keys to the match. If we get all 3 of them done, if we get the first one done, then obviously we're going to win and come back home and get ready for the next game. So those are your keys to the match driven by Toyota, brought to you by Paxton Pomykal.
Paxton kills me in the best way possible. He's also a one-take wonder. It is time for another watch and win opportunity. Right now, you can win $100 towards any Advocare product on advocare.com. Winning is so simple. You've heard me say it before. I'm going to tell you again. Simply post a selfie of yourself to Twitter or Instagram watching the match, the pregame show, or listening to Mark, Steve, and Tyler, Carlos, and Rafa on the radio. Tag FC Dallas and use the hashtag #ComeBackStronger. We will select a winner at random on Monday. Again, $100 towards any Advocare product. Just post a selfie of yourself to Twitter or Instagram watching the match or listening to it on the radio. Tag FC Dallas and make sure to use the hashtag #ComeBackStronger. One more segment left here on FC Dallas Live, driven by Toyota, and we're going to hear from the head coach. Luchi Gonzalez is still looking for his first playoff win. What needs to happen for that to take place tonight? Find out when we come back.
Ever wonder where the capital A in ChickFilA came from? It started with grade A, top quality chicken. But we believed everything, not just the food, should be grade A. A is for all the little things we do to bring you our best every day.
To me, the A in ChickFilA is a smile. I want to give the guests a little encouragement, maybe just a little joke that makes them laugh when they come through the drive-thru. We can stay 6 feet apart and have the best air high five.
Toyotathon is on. Now's the time to get a great deal on Tacoma, RAV4, Camry, and more. I'll take it. I'll get this wrapped up for you. I wish I hadn't just unwrapped it.
During Toyotathon, get $1,500 total bonus, or qualified lessees can lease a new, virtually indestructible 2021 Tacoma Special Edition for only $199 a month.
Toyotathon is on. Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Yeah, we take a ton of pride in our defense. We don't let up a lot of goals, and we make sure that it's a hard place to score. So it's gonna hopefully frustrate them being in their home stadium and not being able to get clean chances. And so we're gonna use that to our advantage.
Portland scores a lot of goals. They're very good in transition. How do you guys go about slowing them down on the break? No, I mean, that's what we stressed all week in training, and we're going to keep progressing with that. I mean, obviously they have very good players when they get in the attack, so we've been stressing that throughout these trainings. Once we lose the ball, everyone sprint back to their spot, and I know we'll be ready for it.
FC Dallas's defense has really been phenomenal in 2020. Truly a strength. Among the teams remaining in the MLS postseason and are traveling, Dallas has allowed the fewest goals on the road this season among those clubs. Just 15 goals allowed in 2020. Garrett Meltzer talks about handling Portland's attack and more in our conversation with the coach with Luchi Gonzalez, presented by Advocare.
Thanks, Gina. Luchi, the playoffs are here. What's been the mood in the team over these final last days of preparation ahead of the match in Portland?
Obviously, we get to train. We haven't had a lot of opportunities to train this season because of the condensed schedule. So just enjoying going over situations and reps that we can actually take our time and focus on details and improve. Or not do well enough and talk about it. So enjoying that process as a staff. The players, we see them as open-minded students and competitors. So we don't lose the competitive part either, even though we want to teach things and improve things. So it's been a balance of everything, and I see a good momentum and camaraderie. You know, we've got to make hard decisions. The players make it difficult for the staff. That's what we want because of the competition and the depth. But we're going to narrow our focus here in the last 2-3 days and be together and put everything on the field for our fans and for each other on the opportunity Sunday.
You guys have been defensively sound all season, but obviously Portland's a very good team in transition. How do you guys go about stopping those counterattacks that they're famous for?
Yeah, Portland is a team historically at home that they get favorable results, but we have an ambition and a belief, and this new playoff structure is one and done. And you saw a few games last year with some clear favorites, and the actual outcome was different. So anything can happen on the given night, on the given day, and we want to just build into making sure that we show a lot of energy and belief and personality to get through tough moments in the game that I'm sure Portland will put us through. It'll be a very difficult game. It's a very good team. But at the same time, find a way to endure, show resilience like we've had to show on and off the field all season, and ourselves find a way to end the result the way that allows us to get through. So it's going to be a battle, but we look forward to it. We embrace that.
FC Dallas's last playoff win came in 2016. What would it mean to you as a coach and to your guys to get that first win in 4 years on the road in the playoffs?
Yeah, everything. It's good to always kind of have a reflection of the past and what the history has been, but that's going to allow us to channel it into motivation to change it and to do something about it and respond. And so we have the opportunity to respond and to change those last outcomes the last few years. And even though it's going to be at a difficult place like Portland, they did it at our place when it was difficult for them. So we don't forget that, and we're gonna do everything we can to do something about that.
Time for our final watch and win giveaway of the pregame show, but we have a lot more coming up throughout the night. We're giving away a $100 fan shop gift card courtesy of Toyota. One more time, you know how it rolls. Post a selfie of yourself to Twitter or Instagram, watching the match, the pregame show, or listening to the game on English or Spanish radio. Tag FC Dallas and use the hashtag #ComeBackStronger. We will select the winner at random on Monday. This time you are entering for a $100 FCD fan shop gift card, courtesy of our friends at Toyota. Again, the match tonight between the Portland Timbers and FC Dallas is on ESPN and ESPN Deportes. You can listen to it on the radio in English with Mark Followell, Steve Davis, and Tyler Kern on fcdallas.com, and in Spanish with Carlos Alvarado and Rafa Calderon on Univision Deportes, 1270 a.m. As we thank you and we say goodbye, we leave you with a statement from FC Dallas head coach Luchi Gonzalez. As the team reflects on the 2020 season with so much it accomplished, Luchi is very clear that this team has so much more that it wants to do, wants to accomplish. And it starts tonight against the Portland Timbers with tonight's playoff match in the Western Conference playoffs. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy FC Dallas and the Portland Timbers. And as we say goodnight, here's our message from Luchi.